Finding the right caregiver for your child can be tricky. I know I'm the head of Mom Sub, and we connect parents and child care providers, and we do a lot of interviews with nannies and sitters. And I'm sharing some of the good questions to ask when you are interviewing somebody who's going to watch your children, especially someone in your home when you're not going to be there. And one of the questions that we ask is how they handle it when kids are challenging. You really want to listen to the answers they give. You know, give them an example. If it's a baby, say when the baby's crying, it won't stop crying. You know, if it's a toddler, when the toddler's throwing a tantrum. Or even if you want someone who's watching older kids, say, what do you do when the child is not doing what they're supposed to, what they're told, what they need to do to stay safe, just to behave and follow the rules. And so many times the answers will revolve around, will I stay calm? Will I try to talk to them? You know, obviously, if you're asking them about a toddler or a baby and they say, well, I talk to them, they may not realize that that doesn't always work with a younger child. And, you know, you may need to use distraction or, you know, rocking, you know, if it's a younger child. And so it's especially good to find out how they talk about their interactions to resolve the issue. If they just say, well, I'm just calm and I calm them down, I'm good at that, that maybe means they haven't had a lot of experience, or they're not really sure how they would deal with it if it was an ongoing situation where the baby is just crying and crying and crying. And so if they give you a lot of different answers, first I'll check and see if the diaper is wet. Then I'll see if they're hungry. Then maybe if mom allows, I'll give them a pacifier. I'll hold them and rock them and even sing to them. You know, if it's a younger child, I'll get down on their level and I'll tell them it's okay to have these big feelings. You know, if it's an older child, you know, I'll ask the parents in advance if they have some incentive that I can offer, like 10 minutes of video game time if you know, clean up and do these chores, you know. So if they really have some good answers and they've thought this through and they've obviously had experience, they'll be able to share that with you. And that's what you want to find out. If they're giving you some generic answer, which is fine, you know, I stay calm and that keeps them calm, you know, that never really happens with me. We all know that happens with children no matter who they are. And that can really give you some insight on how they might deal with a special needs child. So if you want more tips about what to do to hire the right child care provider for you, go to momsub.com/webinar and attend our free webinar on childcare.